So a first look at the new Adidas Ultraboost Light. It's kind of like the Ultraboost 23, but Adidas have rebranded it because they said it's a new generation of Boost midsole foam, which is 30% lighter than the Boost material we saw in the Ultraboost 22 and the 21. It is designed to be lighter. It's still got the same fit as the Ultraboost 22, which was completely kind of reinvented to fit a female foot better. It's still got the narrower heel fit, it's still got the lower instep. It fits very similar, we'll get onto that. But yeah, new generation, midsole foam, 10mm drop still. It weighs in about 293 grams for the men's sample. I think that's usually a UK 8, and 262 for a UK 5, which is female sample, about 9.2 ounces. That is a bit lighter than the Ultraboost 22, which was 333 grams for the men's and 285 for the women's, so a little bit lighter. But looks wise, very similar to the Ultraboost 22, but the midsole foam is kind of what Adidas are talking about here. So fit wise, they fit very similar to the Ultraboost 22. They've got there's little changes. The kind of the booty upper has lost some of the there's a little bit of padding on the Adidas sign here, there's not here. But aside from that, they fit pretty much the same. I've always struggled a bit with the fit of the Ultraboost, and it was better with the 22, but I still find it, I think I have really high arches, and I find that this booty upper is really tight. It's really kind of holds my foot in a way that it's kind of okay on the run, but I could never ever ever wear this shoe to run commute in and then wear all day in the office. When I see people kind of wearing it casually, I'm like, how? And it fits the same. So the fit isn't really for me. I've worn it twice, and the second time I wore it, I got quite a annoying blister kind of here on the shoe, which it's where the kind of big plastic bit is. I won't blame Adidas for that. I have awkward feet, but the fit for me is very similar to the fit of the Ultraboost 22. So if that works for you, it'll work again. Very, very similar. This is a UK 5, so it is true to size. I had enough room in the toe box. It's just not really the fit for my feet, and I think it's just they have high arches.
Fit-wise, the Ultraboost Light comes up a little bit short for me. I think it's the same for the normal Ultraboost, which I normally get half a size up, I think. So in my normal running shoe size, this is quite cramped in the toe box. It was okay on the run today, apart from downhills. I noticed my toes hitting the front of the shoe a little bit. It is quite a cramped toe box, but the fit around the midfoot and heel is nice. Had no concerns there. So just heading out for the first run in the Adidas Ultraboost Light. Just got an easy run on the plan today, probably do 8 or 10k or so. It's very cold, so just gonna get moving in a second to warm up. But interested to see how the shoe feels compared to obviously the last couple of generations of the Ultraboost, which have got very big and heavy. It's very similar in look and design and everything, but it is obviously a fair bit lighter. So hopefully that will translate to a more enjoyable running experience. So just back from the run, did just over 9k, nice relaxed pace, picked up 1k towards the end to see how the shoe felt at speed, and yeah, it's about where I expect it to be. It is noticeably lighter than the previous Ultraboost I tested. It certainly feels less bottom heavy. There's a better balance between upper and that big midsole. It still doesn't feel light or nimble in any way, but the ride is quite smooth. As a heel striker, it rolls through quite well with that plastic system thing underneath in the bottom there. It's got a reasonably good transition that's smooth. And that was the same actually when I got the pace for 1k, just to see how it felt with a little bit of a pickup, and it was okay. Yeah, it's a big shoe. Like anytime you try and up the pace or go up a hill or hit a slightly rough patch into the wind or something, you notice the size of the shoe. It is still, big and heavy, just a bit lighter than the previous Ultraboost, but it's about par for the course probably for big max cushion shoes in terms of weight, and it just offers another option in that category, things like the Invincible. This is a much firmer, duller ride than a lot of the shoes out there. I expect that foam might break in a little bit though. Obviously I only done the one run, so I'll test that a bit more. My glass is completely steamed up at this point. But yeah, it was a reasonably enjoyable first run. The shoe, it's a big shoe, it's still a fairly heavy shoe, but it is a noticeable improvement on that front compared to the normal Ultraboost.
So the run test, I've worn this for a really easy 4-mile recovery run after my long run at the weekend. I did about 15 miles on the long run, so I did have tired legs, and I went out and did really easy running in it. And then I wore it for a treadmill tempo session. That's why it still looks like this despite the weather this week, and that's when I got a blister. So I mean, it is the foam, it feels very similar to the 22. It does feel a little bit lighter, but I don't think we can go on and on about this shoe being a lightweight shoe. It's not a lightweight shoe. It's still heavier than the Peg. It's still heavier than the 1080 V12. It's about the same weight as the Invincible V3, the Nike Invincible V3, which we all kind of call like a max cushion shoe. So do you know what I mean? This isn't a lightweight shoe. The foam does feel responsive. It's not got that same kind of like sink in softness that you get with the 1080, that you get with the Invincible. It's not that like plush. It's definitely a kind of firmer, more responsive midsole foam, which does make it a little bit more versatile. And I think you could wear it for a tempo session. I was able to wear it for a tempo session. It wouldn't be the shoe I reach for a tempo session, but it has got a kind of, that firmness gives it a lot of versatility. And I think if you're a fan of the Ultraboost, you'll like this. It feels very similar to an Ultraboost. Sure, it does feel a little bit lighter, but it's not kind of a plush soft foam. Considering how much foam you've got there, it's not super plush. As I've said, the fit doesn't really agree with me, but I'll be doing some more miles in it and hoping that it kind of, I think the booty upper kind of always loosens a little bit over a few more miles, so I'll give it a bit more time. But yeah, I found it comfortable. I found it really comfortable for the easy run. I found it was fine for the tempo session if I forget about the blister, and I think it is a good responsive shoe. It's just not that, it's lightweight compared to the other Ultraboost, but it's not that lightweight compared to the other shoes on the market in this kind of everyday running shoe bracket.
Early verdict, I mean, it's a good change to the Ultraboost, I'd say. The shoe is very reminiscent and similar to the normal Ultraboost, just a bit lighter, and that does make it more comfortable and enjoyable to use for running. It's a little bit nimbler. It is still a heavy shoe. It's very much in this max cruiser category with things like the Invincible, the Gel Nimbus, the New Balance More V4. And within that category, it offers probably the most dull ride. I think it's not a very lively midsole, but it will last a long time. It's stable. It does a decent job of protecting the legs. And the transition is quite smooth, rolls through reasonably well. It probably feels a little bit lighter on the foot than it is because of that. But it's very much a shoe I think will be best just for easy runs. It's not going to really offer a lot of versatility. Just one run in, lots more testing to do. I think it is to me quite similar to the Gel Nimbus, but the Gel Nimbus feels lighter and livelier underfoot for sure. The Invincible is much squishier. I've just been testing the Puma Forever Run Nitro, and that's just lighter, stable, got a better ride as well, and a lot cheaper. So I think it's going to struggle to really stand out in this marketplace, but I think if you really like the Ultraboost line and like the look of it, I think this is now a better running shoe than the normal shoe, although it is still going to be restricted to similar rolls as the normal Ultraboost, in that it's just really an easy run shoe because the weight is still quite high, even if it is a lot nimbler and lighter than the normal Ultraboost. Well, I'll do a load more testing. We'll see in the full review how it really compares to those other max cushion shoes I mentioned.
So my verdict, I'm looking forward to doing some more miles in this. I think I was expecting it to feel, it does feel, I'm going to do a run where I wear one of each because I think it's hard. It doesn't feel like particularly light because it's similar in weight to other shoes I run in. But I think compared to this, maybe it does feel a little bit lighter. So I'll do some more running in it, and I will obviously be back for the longer review. But yeah, my first impressions, it feels like the Ultraboost, and I think it's still a good everyday comfortable running shoe, and it's versatile, and by making it lighter, it's kind of adding more versatility to it. So that's my first run in the Adidas Ultraboost Light.